Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Amanda and this is Outdo the Standard. And here we talk about all things sewing. And while I don't want to be a sewing instructor, I do want to talk about a failed project and what you can learn from them. So my resolution is to show more failures on camera. And we're gonna start now. So not much editing on this video, just kind of want to show you something and talk you through it. So first off, the way that I wanted this project to be is I really wanted this like beautiful bias cut top that I could just pop on every day with a pair of wide leg pants, tuck them in, be about my day, which is kind of how my usual uniform is: a wide leg pant, a simple garment top, and out the door. Even in winter, for me, I can layer with things like tights and things like that. So, you know, it's a really easy uniform for me to not think about every day. So I wanted a top to go with that. So this pattern was drafted from my base bodice block, which is set to my measurements and all of those things. That is not the issue. There was no issue with real fit with this garment, but ultimately it is going to be unfinished, and I'm going to show you why. So from the base block, I did make a bias cut top that has a bias cut in the front of the garment and a straight grain cut in the back. This is because only the front needed to be on the bias, the back did not. I kept what I did was I have, I think, only just back darts in my back bodice block, so I kept those darts here. No issue with those, you know, just a simple back dart as at the waist. The front dart, however, I have 3 darts on my front bodice block, and I will show you kind of where they went. One of the things I wanted to do with this bias cut top is I wanted something like a French seam, and I feel like what I did was not dramatic enough for what I wanted. So from the base block, which has a block at the shoulder, the bust, and the waist, I first took all of my dart fullness and I split it between the waist and the bust. And then what I did after that was I did a cut where I wanted the French dart to be, and I moved all of the bust dart fullness to the bust and then took the waist and pulled it into the side so that there was more of a taper along the side bust dart. So those were the changes that I made. And then from there, I then kept I then did all the modifications you need to do a bias cut top, which I took those instructions from the pattern making design book from Helen Joseph Armstrong. I just had like a free copy that someone was giving, like a PDF that someone was giving online. If I can find that person who's still doing that, I will link them below. So I did all the instructions to make the bias cut top from there, and also just kind of wung some straps. So where this went wrong was, one, if you'll notice, my bodice block only goes to about my waist. And it also has some arm modifications because of my difference between my bust and my waist. There's always like some fullness around the arm that I have had to transfer into the bust, so the arm looks strange. But the main thing is that I did not add length to the bottom. So that's like the first thing. I needed at least like 4 or 5 inches of, actually, 6 inches would have been nice. 6 inches that widened slowly at the hip because I have such a big waist to hip differential. There's like a 15-inch difference, I believe. So I did not do that. I also did not, once again, make the French dart long enough. I really wanted a dramatic French dart at the side to help with the shape at the cowl of the bias cut top. So I probably could have added, even after lengthening, I could have added another 3 inches down and the French dart to start here. Also, because when I made the bias cut top, I also added a facing that was attached, that was then top stitched down. I should have instead also put the straps where I wanted them to be before stitching it down. So what that means is this is kind of just a failure at this point, and I'm gonna keep it because also another thing too is I think also my bodice block is way too wide for me, or there was some stretching that happened during the cutting process, because when I put this on, I couldn't, there was the amount of taking in I would have had to do on the sides would have just amounted to me having to restart. So I think what this means is this is kind of a failure. I do want to get some more of this fabric and then treat this guy as a mock-up. But yeah, so that is kind of an anatomy of what went wrong with the garment and what I can do to fix it. If this was helpful to you, please let me know. I am trying some new formats, but I wanted to kind of fall in my resolution this year to show more of what doesn't work on camera, because everyone shows like how they succeeded, but not everyone shows their failures. So in the meantime, I hope you get the chance to outdo your standard every single day. And until next time, bye for now, friends.